Hey, what up, guys? So, I'm coming at you again. This time, I'm talking to you about the East African travel visa, East African tourist visa. So, you may not know about the East African tourist visa. I'm going to break it down for you. So, basically, what the East African tourist visa does is it allows you to visit three different African countries and you only need one visa. You can get it at any of the ports of entry. And once you have this visa, it's recognized for 90 days and it lets you travel through all three of them. So the first country is Uganda, the second country is Rwanda, and the third country is Kenya. So all of these countries share a border. So Uganda and Kenya, they have that border. You can cross by land. You can go by air as well. And Rwanda too is on the edge of Uganda if you're heading west. So a really cool thing about this visa is, for example, if you want to fly into Kenya, Nairobi, which is where most people would fly into, and then just go over land and take a long trip. Let's say you've got a month, or you don't even need to have a month, but let's say you have a month or even longer to travel. You could fly into Nairobi Airport. There are two lines when you get there. So there's the single tourist entry visa line, and then there's another line which is for the East African tourist visa. So when my plane landed, the line for the single entry visa was super long, super long. I don't know if a whole bunch of planes landed at the same time, but it would have been, I don't know, maybe an hour wait to process that. And they make you show all kind of documentation. You got to fill out some kind of form. But with and that one is 50 US dollars. So you pay 50 US dollars to go into Kenya one time. It's a single entry, and yeah, so that's how that one works. In the other line, you've got the multiple entry visa, and this is the East African tourist visa. So you pay 100 US dollars. So it's twice the cost, but it enables you to travel to all three of those African countries. And there was no one in line. I was the very first one to the line. They don't make you go through the hassle of filling out a whole bunch of forms or anything like that. You have to pay it in US dollars. That's another thing. So if you're flying directly from the States, it's very easy. Just make sure you take out 100 US from the ATM or from your bank before you get on that flight to Nairobi. But I didn't have US dollars with me because I wasn't coming straight from the States. So what the woman did was she took my passport and she got the form ready. She was writing the information and she just said, go to the ATM. There's an ATM right behind the immigration booth. She said, go there, take out the money. It lets you take out US dollars, no issue, really quick. Took the money out, came back, gave her 100 US dollars, and this is what she gave me. This is what it looks like. This is the East African tourist visa. So if you can see on the dates, the date is valid from December 23rd, 2017 until May 23rd, 2018. And it says multiple visa on both, multiple entries, multiple type of visa. So she actually made a mistake. So she gave me, which is really weird, she gave me 5 months on this visa. And this was from the airport. So maybe if you're going to do it at Nairobi Airport because you may get a few extra months like I did. Because you're supposed to only get 90 days. So what you should have done is it should have said December till March. But instead I got 2 extra months. And mine is good until May is what she put it down for. So that's the way I did it, and I'd say that's the smoothest way to do it. So now, when I was in Kenya, I spent time in Kenya, and then when I went to cross into Uganda, I did it by bus because they have a really efficient bus system. The company that I used is called Modern Coach, and they've got offices all over Nairobi. So you won't have any issue finding Modern Coach from downtown Nairobi. Also, you can go to the website if it's working. It's kind of hit or miss. But on the website, you can make your reservation and have your bus seat and everything ready to go. I would advise you, if you can, pay a little bit more. It's not going to be a whole lot more, maybe, I don't know, $8 more or something like that. I forget off the top of my head. But you want to get one of the first four seats on the bus, because this is a new bus. It's plush. It's not some janky shit. It's not Greyhound back in the States. No, this is prime quality. At your seat, you've got a panel, and the panel lets you access movies. It's a touch display. Um, you've got movies, you've got music, you've got all kind of entertainment options, because it's a pretty long bus ride. But the whole thing is fucking comfortable. Like, you could just lay back. The seats go all the way back, so you just chilling. You taking a nap or whatever. It'll stop a few times along the way. So, when you get hungry, you can go in there, grab some snacks, whatever you need. No issues storing your luggage. Everything you have gets stored below. I would put a lock on it if I were you, just in case. Even though the company is really reputable, you never know. It's still whatever. What I mean? It's wild out there. So somebody might try to get a come up. So just put a lock on your stuff. It goes underneath. When you get to your destination, you don't got to worry about it. You pull it out. Everybody's really professional. Not a bumpy ride at all. The roads are paved. Everything seemed new. I really didn't have any complaints with it. So I can co-sign. I can advise you to use Modern Coast if you're gonna take the trip over the border between Kenya and Uganda. And with the visa, with the multiple entry visa, it was a piece of cake crossing the border as well. The immigration, they just look at it. They look at your passport. Bam, give you the stamp. No questions. No where you staying at. None of that. Administrative bullshit that you sometimes get at the border. If I would compare it to somewhere else where I've crossed the border on land, I've done that in a lot of countries, but I remember the Nicaragua-Costa Rica border, which they also have a Tika bus, I think is what it's called. They have a bus service that crosses from San Jose, the capital there, into Nicaragua, heading on to Managua, and it was more organized in Africa between Uganda and Kenya than it was between Nicaragua and Costa Rica. So that should tell you something. It's very effective. There was, no one trying to get bribes or any of that bullshit that you hear about sometimes when you're traveling to less developed countries. So no issues at all. I would highly recommend to get this East African visa in case you want to go further on from Uganda to Rwanda as well. I'm assuming the process is going to be very similar. You just show your passport. They're going to look at the visa. They're going to stamp it. No questions asked. And like I said, it's good for 90 days. Mine was actually good for 5 months. So there's really no way you can lose, especially if you've got some time and you're not just going to Kenya. Obviously, if you're just going to Kenya, you're like, I only got 2 weeks vacation, bruh. I ain't got time to, be messing with all these other spots. Hey, I got that. So in that case, just do the single entry. But for everyone else who's curious about the culture, maybe they want to see some of the animals and stuff that are only in Uganda. Like they got the big silverback gorillas, I think they are really the ones you see everywhere. I mean, you'll see promotion for it all over the place when you're in East Africa. But anyway, yeah, that's just some information to save you some time in the process when you're going through customs. Also, I want to say about Kenya and Uganda, they've also got an e-visa. If you're just going to do the single entry, you can apply for that on the website. They're constantly changing things though, so double check how that process goes. But I had done that before where they ask you for like a yellow fever certificate and some other things, and they ask you to upload a picture of yourself on the website, and they can process it that way as well. And you don't pay online; they just give you a printout, and you take that to immigration. Let's say you flew into Kampala, Uganda. You would just show them that form, and then you pay there in person. So that's another option. But to me, the multiple entry one I did made the most sense. Another thing I'll talk about as well for the immigration is the yellow fever certificate. On the website online for Kenya and Uganda, it's something that they require. They want you to upload a copy of that. When I got to Nairobi in the airport, no one asked me for the yellow fever certificate. I had it just to be safe. Uh, I had it with me, but nobody asked for it. When I crossed into Uganda by bus, no one asked for it either. So I don't know. I can't recommend you not to get it, but I would just sharing that with you that nobody was checking. Nobody was like, "Hey, we need to see your certificate." But I'm glad I got the shot anyway, just in case some mosquitoes wanted to land on me and get me in my neck and I'm in the hospital and shit. So that's about it for this vid. Like, comment, subscribe. If you got some other topics you want me to discuss, go ahead and let me know about that, and I get back to you the next time. All right, one.